Welcome to the Etheria TechCast, where we bring you all things science, engineering, technology, and innovation. I'm your host, Ezekiel Iferia, and today we are joined by Michael Leung, the CEO and founder of the Flow Group. He's created affordable open ear bone conduction hearing devices for seniors and people with disabilities, technology that works right out of the box without a hearing test. His own journey has been marked by loss, trauma, PTSD, ADHD, addictions, near bankruptcy, and vision loss from retinitis. But through all of it, he kept building. His mission is simple: make hearing accessible to everyone, especially those who have been left behind. Michael, I am truly excited and honored, sir, to welcome you to the show. Thank you very much for joining us here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure to have you as a guest here. So let's get things started. Michael, you immigrated as a child who didn't speak English. You faced PTSD, ADHD, discrimination, near bankruptcy, and vision loss from retinitis pigmentosa. When, rather, what kept you going through all of that? What was the thread that wouldn't really break?
Um, I mean, over the years, like even as a child to a teenager, I lost my way. I was like going down a dark path, and I think I almost gave up many times. But it wasn't really till the last 10 years I kind of started to become more mature. It was probably my ex girlfriend kind of helped me out because she changed my life, right? So I think just keeping myself on track of the last like couple years was probably the best thing I've ever done because I went sober. Like going sober was probably the best thing I've ever done. I think drinking and hang out with the wrong people, toxic people, was what really not made my life very productive. It was when I finally cut off all my toxic friends. My me and my ex girlfriend broke up actually. I was still, it was like a whole year and a half ago. We dated for 12 years. But I still went down a dark path. I started drinking again. But um, my friends told me like I had a mission, and I had a great product that can help so many people in the world. So I think that drove my confidence. I didn't want to waste that opportunity because my eyes are getting worse and worse. I could be permanently blind one day. So I wanted to carry this mission, and that's what drives me and fuels me every day. Because I work with thousands of people, and just seeing the one-on-one reaction and how happy they are, being able to hear, and being coming out of isolation, the confidence goes up. Hearing is so important, right? So just having a product that's affordable and accessible that people can use to improve that, it changes their life completely. And it makes me proud. And it makes me every day I just wake up happy and wanted to work and just wanting to spread the, exposure um, you know, and next week I'm supposed to get the answer if I'm going to make it on Dragon's Den. It's a biggest entrepreneur TV show in Canada, right? So once if I get on that, then it's going to be more people globally is going to know about this product. So, um,
All right. All right, Michael, thank you very much for sharing that with us. So, you are the CEO and founder of the Flow Group, and you developed open ear bone conduction devices to help seniors and people with hearing loss stay connected. I'd like you to tell us about this.
yeah. So as you know, hearing aids you wear on the inside, right? Kind of like your headphone, it's on the inside. So it looks like this. Lots of bone conduction headphones out there looks like this, right? Dime a dozen, but ours is the only one that we put the amplification into it so that I could use it to socially engage with it, right? So you wear like a headphone, looks like a headphone, but you can use it to talk to people now. So it becomes, it's not a hearing aid. I don't call it a hearing aid. It's called an assistive hearing device, right? So non-medical, they don't need to get their ears tested and stuff. So it's just something I want to put in retail where people can just pick off the shelf and just wear it. And it works for people all ages. It just happens I'm in the senior industry and actually one of the hardest industries to even get to because they don't trust anybody, right? So I worked my way to get the respect, and and now I get welcome everywhere I go in across Canada, right? So with this open ear bone conduction headphone, because it's open ear, you wear it on the outside, it sits right in front of your cheekbones, right in front of your ears, right? So nothing is in my ear, no direct pressure, no damage, and no earwax buildup like hearing aids do. And we added a dual volume control on both sides, so you can change the volume higher on one side or lower on one side because people have one-sided deafness. Um, we put a noise reduction chip in it, so minimize background sounds because a lot of hearing products have background sounds, right? So when you want to focus in front of you, you want the back to be minimized. So we put that in there too. Um, Very quick charge, 1 hour charge, 8 10 hour usage, and it works for people from mild, moderate to even severe hearing loss, but case by case scenario, right? So some people have really severe hearing loss. They combine the products. So they wear ours on the outside, they wear the hearing aids on the inside, and together it re-enhances the sounds, right? So now they don't need to go buy new hearing aids. And they use bone conduction. So bone conduction is taking the sounds, amplify it from the skull into the inner ear through sound vibrations. And the sound vibrations will convert into electrical signals where the brain will recognize it as sound, right? So depends how bad their hearing is, then this product would work, right? But there's limitations for everything. But it helps most people, and I'm happy about that.
All right. Yeah, that was a really insightful response, Michael. Yeah. So, did your experience with vision loss, did it shape your understanding of what accessibility truly means? And also, are there things you notice that someone without a disability might miss?
Yeah, it definitely happened when I got my retinal detachment about 10 years ago. It really did open my eyes about how hard it is to navigate and how life is so difficult without your vision or hearing, right? They're both as equally as important, right? Sight and hearing. And I feel like I have a personal connection with my clients because when I do my presentations, I'm not just a sales guy. I'm actually someone that has a disability too. And when I talk to them, they resonate with me. And I feel for them because they not only have hearing loss, they have sight loss, they have health issues, dementia, they have a lot of things, you know. And so I know when I start working with seniors, just yeah, it really opens your eyes until you have vision loss or hearing loss. You don't know how important it is. I think a lot of people take it for granted. That's why I actually promote people to use open eared products because the ones you use now, the ones in the ear, is damaging for your ears over time, right? So yeah, it's definitely my disability made me change a lot of perspective on all that things, and also was the reason why I ended up going this direction, right, into my
All right. Right. So, let's dive deep into what open ear bone conduction technology actually entails. So, can you break it down for us in plain English? How does it work differently from a traditional hearing aid? And why does that matter for someone who is struggling?
yeah. So there's lots of types of people that would rather wear our product. So someone that's allergic to hearing aid material, when they wear hearing aids, they get itchiness, they get rashes, so they can't wear hearing aids, right? People that just start getting hearing loss, they don't want to spend that kind of money, $7,000 8,000 on hearing aids, then they rather spend on ours $300, right? So big price difference. There's people that just had really bad experiences with hearing aids, and I met a lot of seniors that own hearing aids, they don't wear them. So that's kind of that's a big problem to me, right? When they have something that costs thousands of dollars, but they refuse to wear it. So A is because they're scared of losing them or damaging them, and some of them have
Hmm.
replaced many pairs, so it costs them tens of thousands of dollars. So and they don't like have to change batteries. It's very tiny, right? So they rather wear something like ours because it's visible. You can't lose this. Rechargeable, hands free, and if you lose it, you lose $300. And they really love the open ear design because when it sits in front of your ears, you don't feel any pressures. So therefore, the no earwax buildups is a major advantage for them because they have to clean their ears every month, and and sometimes they get so much earwax it clogs the hearing. Right, the affordability, the accessibility is key. It's just very comfortable, very senior friendly. We made it only one button to turn it on and a couple of buttons just to change the volume. And it's very important to make things as simple as possible. So I had my first version. it didn't do as well as the second version. So I learned to evolve. When you start working with people, you get feedback, right? And you know what's working and what doesn't work. So when you work with a senior industry, you notice my product had too many buttons to click and hold and press. So maybe for a young person that's techie can be understanding of that, right? But when you work in the senior community, you lost them right away. So even though they bought some, but the moment I changed I upgraded it to like one button to turn it on. No more clicking, no more, holding. Only a couple buttons you have to click, right? To turn the volume up and down, and that's really it, right? So simpler the better, and you get their attention and their loyalty if you work with them one on one, you care for them. I'm and Yeah, it's completely different because hearing aids is like in the ear, ours is outside the ear. Theirs is changing batteries, ours is rechargeable. Ours is
Mm,
big, theirs is small. It's like everything is polar opposite, and we use bone conduction, right? So the bone
oh,
conduction and the open ear design actually helps minimize tinnitus too. So when people have tinnitus, it's like ringing and buzzing, like it's constant in your brain, right? And
mm.
if you don't get anything to improve it, your brain is stressed all the time. So when they wear this, because of the natural ambient sounds that comes in through this open ear design, and because of the sound vibrations, it neutralizes tinnitus. So it does a lot of things. It's very beneficial in so many ways for only a fraction of the cost of hearing aids, and it doesn't require your ear canal. It bypasses through the ear canal. Hearing aids, you need the ear canal.
Okay, yes, that was a really insightful response. Thank you very much for sharing, Michael. So you said your mission is to make caring solutions so simple that anyone can walk into a store, pick up a device without a hearing test, and have it work right out of the box. So why is that simplicity so important? What's broken about the current process?
Honestly, since recently, I actually changed a little bit of that theory too, because I've worked with so many people with so many types of hearing loss. It's a case by case scenario, right? So now I actually changed my marketing and sales campaign where on my website, I have a questionnaire now. So it's an online questionnaire, and people can answer the questionnaire, and it'll be different questions. And at the end, it'll tell you if you're a good fit or not. If you're a good fit, you can buy, right? Then you can go online and buy it, and ships all over the world. But if they're not, then we recommend them not to buy it because it means that their hearing is too severe. Their ear shape is not the right shape where it can hook on the headset, or their frequency is just too up and down. So I know from experience that working with these specific special severe types of hearing loss will not work for my product. So I don't. It helps me to not get refunds back. If I know it's not going to work, then I'd rather them not use it. Right? I want them to be happy with the product. So now we have the questionnaire. I do a lot of in-person events where I test people on site. So even though they don't need to go to get tested at an audiologist because it's a very thorough check, right? It takes like a long time. Mine is just more I put it on them and then we talk to each other and then I put the TV on. But the seniors would talk amongst each other. It's very quick, right? It's just like more like a day-to-day kind of experience, I don't have different apparatus about to test their hearing and stuff, right? But I basically just put it on them, change the volume to the setting they like, and then let them use it naturally, right? And most cases people can hear pretty well out of them. And some of them need to combine it, and some people it doesn't work at all. So it happens, right? Not everything's meant to work for everybody. But if it works for most people, I'm happy because there's 1.5 billion people in the world that's hearing loss. That's a lot of people. And it goes up to 2.5 in 2050, which is like a quarter of the population of the world will have hearing loss, right? So that's how much demand is going to be. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Michael, you've faced near bankruptcy and built this company through incredible hardship. So what was the moment you almost gave up? Was there any? And if so, what actually pulled you back?
Yeah. I think I almost gave up a lot of times, but the time I almost gave up, or I actually did give up, was when I worked at the hotel. This is when I was in 16, 21. I worked from busboy, dishwasher, server, front desk, park cars, everything, valet, right? And I went to school. I got scholarships to be a manager, hotel management, right? And when it came to getting the position, the manager gave it to his best friend, roommate, who had zero experience and was just like a surfer. He's just like some surfer guy. I was I felt so discriminated, right? And it's first time I felt discriminated in a workplace. Well, of course, we go through periods where we feel like we have racial discrimination towards me happened throughout my life, but that was the most impactful to me in a working environment. So I ended up quitting, and then I ended up doing real estate. I did stocks, and I did really well. And then I tried a little bit of everything, but I failed a lot too. I failed a lot. I lost a lot of money. I really trusted my friends, and I put money in their ideas, and most of them failed. And then you lose your money through someone else's idea. So this is now the first time for me that I actually have my own idea and no one else. And this is the most fulfilling thing for me. And I've never felt this way before because it's obviously impactful. Something I've done from beginning to end. I learned everything on my own from exporting, importing, like legal documents to just marketing, sales, everything right from top to bottom. But back then, I didn't know like too much. I think just taking the shortcuts and keep failing over and over again, that was really, uh, I don't know, I felt I was lost because, I didn't I wasn't I knew I was creative, but then I didn't let the creativity come out till now, right? Back then, I just kept being lazy. I just kept going with other people's ideas until my ex-girlfriend told me, like, "You should really stop doing that and do what you do with your own ideas and creativity, right? So if you fail, you failed yourself, right? But don't fail with someone else's idea." So a lot of
Mm.
times I almost gave up because I kept trusting the wrong people. So I cut off all my friends, and I meet new friends now that are more obviously positive and entrepreneurs that think like I do. So surround yourself with positive people, pretty much, and don't take shortcuts.
All right, Michael. You've achieved recognition in the top 1% of Forbes Entrepreneurs of Impact contest. So I'd like to know, what does impact mean to you beyond just selling a product? Or how do you measure success differently than the typical CEO?
Yep. So what I do is because I drive like province to like I fly to other provinces and I
Mhm,
drive around and I do events after events. I've done 21 events in 9 cities in Toronto, on Toronto area, right? And my hands-on experience with seniors is what puts me aside from other CEOs, right? A lot of CEOs will sell stuff and they won't even attend to all these events. But I go to like wellness events, I go to innovation events. Some are small and some are really big, right? But
mhm,
even podcasting, I don't like. I'll do ones that are small, like the new. I even do new podcasts that just started, but I also do very big ones that are like top 0.05. I don't. I think it's good to be humble, but like the whole process, I don't change, and I hard work and just dedication because people want to see a genuine, honest, caring CEO, right? Not someone that just wants to make money and peace out. So for me, it's like I put the time. I have a new loan a flow program where in the city, I loan my product for 3 days so people can use it for 3 days. I could take a
mhm.
deposit, but then it's more work for me, but it's something that's needed because people like seniors, they want to use your product for a couple days before buying, right? So just doing what I can to just be a part of the community, doing donations. Anytime they call me to help out with any type of senior related or disability related events, I go. And I always make my schedule open for those types of things. As busy as I am now, because I have more partnerships and I have TV shows and all that stuff, I still make time for everything. I know it's just impact is what you create, right? And I don't want to just do the same impact other people do. I want to create an impact that's everlasting, longevity. That's why I don't put my products on Amazon. I don't sell on Amazon, even though people can sell a lot. I don't want to damage my reputation. So I take the organic way, the harder way, the longer way. So that's why a lot of people respect what I'm doing, right? Because I'm not out to make a quick buck. I'm out for longevity, right? So yeah.
Okay. All right. Michael, you are now able to provide your technology for free to low and moderate income seniors through grant support. What does that feel like? Can you share a story of someone whose life changed because they got a device they couldn't afford?
So that's in in the process right now. So it takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
We're doing
Okay.
pilot programs, yeah, pilot programs with different senior brands. So they basically they take some of their funding internally and they buy like a bulk order from me, and we're testing volunteers, and we do research. We have different research teams just combining like data and stuff. We're just making like a case study out of it, right? And from the case study,
Mm-hmm.
you use it and you can actually apply for different grants and funding. And some of the groups I work with have the ability to get those grants, and it's just a matter of time. I work with so many different groups, even the dementia groups, that want to try my product to see if it improves communication with people with dementia, see if it helps with their memory, their speech, and if that goes well, they'll probably write a letter of approval saying that my product actually works for people with dementia, and people when people buy it, they will know, right? So and I'm also trying to get it approved for benefits too. So it's a lot of different things I'm trying just so people can cover it with insurance. And of course the grants, it'll be like people that are low income that live in the specific senior brand, they will get very discounted products, right? I don't know about free, but maybe like we if it's $300, if they get it for $50, it's still very very good price, right? So, but that's all in the works right now. Yeah, lots of things on the works.
Okay. All right. So thank you very much for sharing that. So, Michael, for someone who is listening right now in our audience, who is probably struggling, whether with disability, addiction, or just feeling stuck. So what would you say to them right now? What do you wish someone had said to you at your lowest point?
Probably find a good friend or talk to a therapist. It took me a long time to get help. And through talking to people, that's why I ended up going sober. I ended up feeling my PTSD went down a bit, my ADHD, I had to take medication just to level things out, you know. I'm a very hyper, my ADHD gets me very energetic and like, I end up overdoing a lot of things, right? I don't sleep very much. So, you know, I need to correct my sleeping, but I become like not obsessed with what I'm doing, but I think it's good to love what you do, but like there has to be a balance in life, right? So I'm still even trying to find that balance. But I think everyone should go out, look for something they love to do. Don't do what everyone else is doing. Do something completely different. And it's hard. It's easy to say that, but it's hard to do. But like you gotta love what you're doing, right? If I didn't love what I'm doing now, I would be bored of it like, you know, 2 years from now. And if you could find something impactful, doing something like what I'm doing, it fuels you, and it will actually make you feel less lazy. And it'll really get that creativity out of your system, right? Just knowing anyone can do what I'm doing. It's just you have to not procrastinate and really get yourself out there and get working, right? Just create some ideas, write some stuff down, right? And try it. You have to try it. You have to fail to actually succeed, right? So don't be afraid to fail. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing that, Michael, and I hope it helps the listener in the position where they need to hear this. So part of the theme of this podcast is centered around the word innovation, and for that reason, we like to just cycle around that topic for most of the conversations we have on this podcast. So, Michael, for you, after surviving so much and building a company to help others hear the world, what does innovation truly mean to you now? Is it about better technology, better access, better understanding of what it means to truly be seen and heard? Or, I mean, I just like to hear your own thoughts on it. I don't want to give you my own. Or yeah.
What I think of technology, I think that well, for seniors, for my industry, a lot of them are afraid of technology, so they get spooked out. And when I do events, most of the time it's all women that come out, right? And you would think men would come out because they're more techy, but men are very prideful. They don't like to admit they have hearing loss. So when someone is already in denial of hearing loss, they don't want to try new technology. The moment they hear that they have to wear something in their ear, it's a stigma, right? So it makes them feel like they are, you know, disabled. So our product actually makes them look cool and hip, and no one can tell they're wearing hearing aids. That's another good feature about our product. That's how we invite people to wear it and try a new innovation. And I'm always a part of new innovation events. There's one in a week and a half. Uh, it's a senior expo we have every year, and 2,000, 1,500 seniors come down every year to learn about new technologies and services that's catered to them, right? So when that happens, we teach them, we educate them, we guide them, right? Because seniors, you can't just sell it to them and bye bye, right? I leave my phone number for them. They email me. I really take time to help them, right? I even drive to their house to help them. My innovation in my industry is just you have to you have to introduce it to them as something that's easy to use, something that's senior friendly, because once you lose the senior and it becomes too difficult to use, they won't buy it. They won't even touch it, right? But then when you have something that's completely different, and a lot of them are fed up with hearing aids. It's not only too expensive, they just don't. A lot of them don't like it because they have bad experiences with it. So when you have something exciting and new, suddenly they're more eager to try it too. And now I have more and more people. It's crazy. When I first started, I had one or two people where now there's 15 to 20 people wearing it. And I work with so many different senior homes, and you see it growing and growing because they see Bob wearing it. Bob is a techie guy. He loves innovation. So now people see
Hmm.
Bob wearing it, and Bob's able to hear better. So now they're starting to want to try new innovation. And I also think that evolving is important too. Once you have one product, you must make the next one better and better and better. So now I'm at a 2.0, and then I'm at a 3.0 and 4.0, and it's always going to be a little bit better. Kind of like Apple, right? So that's how you stay
Hmm.
relevant in technology because there's so many people that would try to copy you, and and that's why I do what I do because I do everything the hard way because people can't copy that as easily. You have to really do what I do to really like go city to city, town to town, province to province, show my face, work with seniors, present, and also have this disability attached to me that really connects to people. That's hard to mimic, right? So people can people can have products all day long, but if you don't know how to sell it and you don't know how to connect with people, you're never going to sell anything, right? So that's why I
Hmm.
think I'm on the right direction with technology. And technology is such a amazing thing, you know? It's ever changing, always keeps changing.
All right. All right. That was an amazing response, Michael.
Thanks, thank you.
Lastly, for our listeners who actually want to go learn more about your products, support your mission, and even maybe get a device for themselves or a loved one, where is the best place for them to start?
So my website, I have two of them. So www.theinnerflow, and flow is FLO .ca and .com. So no W. If you go W, it's gonna take you somewhere else. So theinnerflow.com and .ca. And on there's blogs, there's testimonies, there's online shipping, online sales, online store where we ship to 100 countries. And there's even translation for Spanish, English, Chinese, and French. So plus there is a new questionnaire, as I mentioned. So once you get on the website, 30-day money back guaranteed. If you answer the questionnaire, it'll tell you if you're a good fit and you can purchase it after. And our Instagram is at the Flow Group. You can check out all our updates, whether I make it on Dragon's Den or not next week, and just updates, events, everything's there. Anything, yeah.
All
Oh,
right.
sorry. Oh, sorry. One more thing. There's a discounts right now. Big discounts and promotions. You'll see it on the website too. Uh, 30% off my first product, 10% off the 2.0.
Michael, it has been an amazing and insightful conversation with you here today, indeed. And I'm really excited having you join us on the show today. Thank you very much for taking the time to come here as a guest.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.